Hey gang, TYT Sports, Ben Mankiewicz, Michael Schur. So there's this Dwight Howard story now. First of all, let me just say, Dwight Howard's a giant pussy.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even know very much about the guy, but he's a pussy.
So Jason, help us out. Who has called Dwight Howard a pussy?
Okay. Well, as of right now, we have Kevin Durant, who's called Dwight Howard a pussy. We know Kobe has called him more than just a pussy, but a bunch of other vulgar terms, and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Okay, so
And
Aldridge.
a couple of Lakers fans, too.
But being called a pussy is the least of Dwight Howard's problems because Cobb County Police in Georgia have reopened an investigation into child abuse allegations. This is the incident occurred in the summer of 2014 where Howard is alleged to have hit his young son with a belt buckle, and there were some visible wounds. At the time, police didn't think there was enough evidence to proceed. Perhaps they thought Howard didn't do it. Now the case has been, new information in the case has emerged apparently in the last 48 hours, according to Cobb County Police, that allowed them to reopen the case. Howard, through his attorney, saying that this is the mother of the child in question using this incident as leverage and some sort of issue with Howard. Obviously, no way to know. Howard apparently did say at the time that he hit his child with a belt, saying he didn't know it was wrong because that's how he was raised.
Right. And they were clear to specify, and I don't know that this makes any difference in the way you think of it. It was the buckle end of the belt.
Right. I don't know that it makes any difference. I don't know whether it's worse or better because I've never been hit with either, and I'm never going to hit anybody with either.
No. I guess if you're hitting someone with malice, like if you were defending yourself, you'd hit them with the buckle end.
Yeah, I don't think we should be distinguishing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Right. There is no distinction. Right. But they were quick to point that out.
They were quick to point that out. So whether Dwight Howard did this or not, I don't know. You know, like Adrian Peterson, we had the pictures and we had Peterson admitting it. Howard, I guess, has admitted something. Obviously, there are degrees to which parents would permit some degree of corporal punishment. That seems to be, there seem to be fewer and fewer. It seems to be acceptable. I don't know what would be acceptable.
It's a dwindling. I mean, you know, spanking is probably acceptable.
Spanking is probably okay. I wouldn't do it, but I get it that some would. I was spanked once, but it doesn't. That's the thing, and that's really the interesting thing to talk about here.
That was in 2011.
Right, totally. That's right. The interesting thing to talk about, I think, in this is not the facts of the Dwight Howard case, because we really know very, very little.
Yeah.
But this argument that Howard put forth, and that Adrian Peterson put forth, and that Charles Barkley, who I like enormously, put forth, that like it happened to them, and this is how kids were raised. Barkley did not admit to doing it, but just said, look, this is how we're raised, and we turned out fine. And I would argue you did not turn out fine, because you turned out in a way where you think it's okay to hit the most defenseless person in the world. So you did not turn out fine, and one of the reasons you did not turn out fine is because you were hit when you were a child. It is not okay to say, hey, look, I'm a functional adult in society and I'm fine, and my dad hit me.
I agree. I mean, obviously I agree. But to say you didn't turn out fine, there is a cultural acceptance in certain parts of this country and in certain homes in other parts of this country where it is accepted that there is corporal punishment, right? And so to say that,
and it's a mistake.
It is wrong. Yeah. I agree that it's wrong, but I mean, you know, and they should, in the NBA, they should be enlightened enough to know they're the people that should be charged with changing that. In the NFL, the NBA, and sophistication, etc.
No, I know they think it. But it's not, and I'm not saying they deserve that. When I say you're not okay, I don't mean like you're a violent sociopath who should go to prison. Right. But the very nature that you think that it's okay to take, I mean, Adrian Peterson's the case we know about, so let's talk about this. This is the person, this is a defenseless child, literally defenseless, against the person who he admires and is supposed to trust the most.
Right. You
don't hit the kid with a stick. You just don't. And you get punished for it. And he's been punished. Stick. Have at it. And I just think that the very nature of saying I turned out okay is actually flawed. We're all flawed. We all have things that are wrong about us. One of the things that's wrong about these guys when they go, I'm fine, and I say, you're not fine. You think it's okay to beat a kid, and it's probably because you got beat. That's messed up, and we need to change it.
But I'm not disagreeing with you.
So just agree.
But well, I do agree. But there are subtle. Yeah, I guess we're done. We're done. No, but I mean, like if your dad's a bad bad tipper, right? And you're great, and you continue your dad's string of bad tipping. Did you turn out fine?
Well, no, but you're not hitting someone.
Right, okay, but that's what I'm saying. But there's a huge difference. I'm trying to illustrate that with something that's benign.
Where is the point when you say, my dad beat my mom, so I beat my wife, so I'm okay?
That's what I'm saying.
Is that enough to make sure that there's something wrong with you if you think that?
There's something wrong with you if you hit a child, but I'm just talking about the bad person label.
I didn't say bad person. I said there's something
wrong.
He said I turned out fine, and I'm saying
no, you didn't. You
didn't
turn out fine.
You're not fine. You didn't turn out fine. This is a flaw, and it's a potentially significant flaw, and it's very easy to fix. Don't do it. Right. Solved. Problem solved. Scold.
Scold is good. Yeah, but scold doesn't work, by the way.
No, nothing works. They right. misbehave until they stop.
Right, and you don't have to hit them with a switch.
Just be around. Be there. All right. We've ruled. I think we've come to an agreement. I think we've...
I've always agreed. I was just trying to take it from a different angle. It's the NBA. I don't care about it.